Conversations with Professional Musicians. We are here in the Metro Detroit, Michigan area. This is Birdfight Records at JK Not Kidding Studios, and this is our series, Candid Conversations with Professional Musicians. What does that mean? And it is so different in these days on what it means to be a professional musician, and everybody is kind of finding their way differently. So the purpose of this show is to talk to working musicians on what they're doing and how they are succeeding and breaking out in the industry. Today we actually have a sponsor, a local pizza shop named Louie's Pizza. We've been getting pizza there for all of our sessions this year, and they've actually sponsored this episode. So we really appreciate them. Great pizza here in Shelby Township. So if you're in the area, they have some of the best Detroit-style pizza around, and allegedly the best ranch in Michigan. I'm not the guy to ask for that, but some people out there like ranch. Check it out. Great guys there at Louie's Pizza. But today, we have Katie Greene here. Katie Greene is a singer-songwriter based in Nashville. She's been here before. If you've seen on our channel, Katie's been here previously with her other band, but today we're focusing on her project. She has a new album coming out this year called Emerald. We're going to hear some new songs from that and talk a bunch of different things with Katie. Please sit back and enjoy, and thanks so much for being here.
Thanks so much for having me.
Of course, yeah. Thank you.
Well, I'm going to start with a song called Hard Part of Healing, and this one actually comes out this evening at midnight. One step forward leaves behind.
So can you explain how you do that?
Yeah, totally. So I have a ditto vocal loop pedal. So basically, I will hit record. So I'll hit record, and then I'll hit record again, hit record, hit record, hit record, hit record. So I can just kind of stack it as you go. And it's really fun. It's a great tool, especially for like solo touring. So.
Yeah, you're really good at that.
Thank you.
It's not an easy skill to be that tight with a looper.
Yeah.
So you probably spent a lot of time figuring it out.
Definitely. Yep. It's a really fun way for me to write too. I really love writing with it.
Do you use it when you're playing with other people as well, or just typically solo?
Sometimes I will. If I have a drummer who's like really good at staying in the pocket, then they can keep me on my toes, and so I'll use it with them. But yeah, typically I just use it on my own.
Okay. Yeah, because using loopers with other people can be really dicey.
Yeah, definitely.
If it's just you can let it fly, and it can be a little bit left
like,
or right.
Yep, exactly.
But yeah, when you get the other ones involved. Well, that's cool. Great song.
Thank you.
So that's coming out at midnight tonight.
Yep.
So make sure everybody out there follow Katie on all of the social media things, Katie Greene, and check out her song tonight at midnight. Play it tomorrow. Share it with your friends.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for being here tonight with us. If this is your first time here, please make sure to subscribe and give us comments in the comments section, questions for Katie. I'll be relaying them. We already have a really nice comment, which may be somebody you know. One of the most consistent and hardworking in the game, from John Peterson.
Oh yeah, that's my brother. Hey, Johnny.
Yeah, thanks for being here, John. Thanks for the comments. Yeah, so if you got any more comments or questions, please make sure to let us know. Thank you.
Cool. Well, we'll be talking about this later, but I recently rebranded to Katie Greene. I used to go by the name Katie Peterson, which is my given name. And so I thought it might be fun to do a little throwback of a Katie Peterson song for anybody tuning in that's more familiar with that project. But this is called Guard Down, and it's one of my favorites to play. So here we go. Took time to build so quickly. Oh, do you realize what you've done? I wish I'd opened up my eyes to the danger in your love before I let my guard down. Before I let my guard down. I was doing just fine on my own.
Cool. I love that. It's an upbeat song, happy sounding song with maybe more melancholy of lyrics, I would say.
Sure, yeah.
But it's really great.
Thank you.
Very cool.
Appreciate it. We had a lot of fun with production with that. I produced that with Jake Rye, who's out of Adrian, Michigan. So,
Oh, very cool.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Cool. Well, next I'm going to play for you my song Spring. And this one just came out on the first day of spring, March 20th. My first song is Katie Greene. And I grew up in the Ann Arbor area, and the year before I moved to Nashville, there were like 100 days in a row without sun. And I just thought that was a really interesting metaphor for like waiting for things to change. So this is Spring. I've never liked spring. It always snows in April, like the winter just can't let go. And I understand too well when I hear the birds sing, see the white flakes on their red wings. Is it an omen? What are they trying to show me? Does it mean something? So I'll watch what they do, and I listen to what they say. But how long is too long to wait for things to change? 'Cause nothing is wrong, but everything is not what I thought this many years in. Oh, it might be the season, but I can't shake this feeling. 'Cause I have seen the sunshine peeking through the gray sky, but I never know how long it'll stay out, how much light I can rely on. Things are looking up. I've been hearing that for months now. I don't think it's a lie, but I am getting tired of being let down. So I'll watch what they do, and I listen to what they say. But how long is too long to wait for things to change? 'Cause nothing is wrong, but everything is not what I thought this many years in. Oh, it might be the season, but I can't shake this feeling. I've never liked spring. It always snows in April, like the winter just can't let go. And I understand too well. Yeah.
Beautiful. So we actually have a question already
All
from the
right.
chat. Does your Michigan family notice your Nashville twang?
I think so. Yeah, I feel like they've commented. I say y'all all the time now. It's just such a great, it's a great word, you know, it incorporates everybody, but I definitely have a little less of a Michigan accent now.
I think it is a good word. It's almost better than here people say you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's not, we don't need that. I think y'all makes more sense.
Totally. Very inclusive. So.
Yeah, I like that. Very cool. Well, beautiful song.
Thank you.
So Spring came out when now?
March 20th.
March 20th.
Yep.
First day of spring.
First day
You said
of spring.
that.
Yeah.
I should have. You said that already.
All
I'm
good,
sorry.
all
you know,
good, yeah.
it's a beautiful song. It's been stuck in my head all week, so it's great to hear you play it live.
Yeah.
Because it is a great song, and it's. I love that it's a slightly different interpretation here with you on the piano.
Yeah, definitely. That one was really fun to produce as well. We just used guitar and my voice, and my producer Phil Barnes that I work with down in Nashville made a synth out of my voice, which
cool.
was the first time I've ever done that, and it's really cool. So,
I love that. That's very cool. There's some really fun sounds in there. So,
yeah, definitely.
Great job.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Well, I think I'm going to continue with a cover next. The process of making the record Emerald has been a lot of like tapping into all the different versions of myself over the years, and the one that stands out the most is the 16-year-old pop punk lover, and so I thought it might be fun to do a Paramore cover of Misery Business. So here we go. Business of misery, let's take it from the top. She's got a body like an hourglass, and it's ticking like a clock. It's a matter of time before we all run out. When I thought he was mine, she caught him by the mouth. I waited 8 long months, she finally set him free. Told him I couldn't lie, he was the only one for me. 2 weeks and we'd caught on fire. She's got it out for me, but I wear the biggest smile. Chances they don't ever matter, people never change. What's a boy and nothing more, I'm sorry, that'll never change. And about forgiveness, we're both supposed to have exchange. I'm sorry, honey, well I passed it up, now look this way. There's a million other girls who do it just like you, looking as innocent as possible to get to who they want and what they want. It's easy if you do it right. I refuse, I refuse, I refuse. But I got him where I want him now. Oh,
need some applause in here. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Really cool, like taking that down tempo a bit.
Yeah.
It's interesting to hear it in that light, where it's usually a fast, busy song.
Rockin'.
But the lyrics, of course, are heavy.
Yeah, totally.
So it works really well in the setting. Great job on that.
Thank you.
Very cool.
Super
We got a lot of love out there
All right.
on the comments section
Heck yeah.
for that one too. So
Happy
some people excited to hear some Paramore, nailed it. Really awesome. So very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So we have a few more, right? So some new songs.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yep.
What's the next one we're thinking?
The next one I'm going to play for you is kind of Paramore-esque. So it's one of my favorites on the record. It's called Common Denominator. It'll be coming out in June. And it was one of those songs that I rewrote it like 4 different times. And the whole theme of the song is how change is the only consistent thing in life. And so I just thought that it was so funny that the song itself was sort of a relay of that information in the writing process. But yeah, this is Common Denominator. You can imagine a lot of drums in this one too.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Making peace
That's really good. I love that lyric.
Thank you.
That tag is so good.
Thanks.
And the melody, excellent. It's
you.
interesting that you mentioned the Paramore beforehand, because I could see the production kind of going there.
Totally.
But I don't know if you said that,
Yeah,
if I
if you
wouldn't have
would've
known.
totally.
But there's so much powerful vocal in there. I mean, you're such a phenomenal singer.
Thank you.
And your pitch is excellent. I mean, the vibrato, everything's so good. So really awesome on that one being, I could see it being more of a power song. Maybe that's kind of what you were
Totally.
saying with the Paramore.
Yeah, yep.
So-
every person that I played it for, like, even when I brought it to my producer, he was like, so what are we doing with this? And I was like, I want to go Paramore. And he was like, oh, okay. And then as soon as we got in there, he was like, this is so fun, like, heck yeah, you know? And so it really turned into like a power anthem versus like a sad ballad, which I think it could also tend to go towards.
Yeah,
you know?
it's so tough sometimes when the song is in its infancy like that.
Yeah.
Because every decision you make can push you more towards that direction of whatever power ballad, sad song. And sometimes you get really far and you realize, wait, I've gone too far. I need
Sure.
to step back. Maybe the direction was this way. But
Yeah.
that's kind of the beauty of the process and the change, right?
Definitely.
So
yeah.
you said it was rewritten 4 times,
Yeah.
right? So it makes sense. I'm now really excited to hear the final version.
Yeah.
So that's coming out, you said June,
in
right?
June, yeah.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
That's so cool. There was a lot of love for that one in there too.
Cool, I'm so
We got
glad.
a lot of love in the comments. So thanks
yeah.
everybody for your comments there. If this is your first time joining us, please make sure to subscribe. We are going to have an interview section at the end here after Katie's performance. So please give us some questions that we can ask Katie during that section as well. Thanks everybody.
Cool.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
everybody on the chat. I mean, whatever. I'm just sitting here enjoying this. That's the best part of it for me, just sitting here and enjoying people
Yeah.
playing great music.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm so stoked to be here. So this is going to be the last. I just like literally got the last mix on my way in for this tune. This is the last one that will finish out the record before it goes to mastering next week. And I'm just so excited with how it turned out. This was another one where it was one tempo and then we're like, it needs to be faster. And then we added drums and it just totally took on another life. But this song's called People Don't Change. How many times have you left me on red? Apologize for canceling at the last minute. Well, I question, do you really listen? I told you that you hurt me. You say it's well intentioned. First you tell me yes and then it's maybe. When I try to call you out, you call me crazy. People don't change the way that they show up. The people that they love, they give it all they got and they meet you halfway. Give more than they take, follow through on what they say. Oh, I wish you'd do the same, but people don't change. There's no I in team, no I in respect, but there's a you in mutual, or did you forget? I've been trying what you call compromising, going down a one way. I'm doing all the driving. I hate to ruin all your expectations with my no more Mr. Nice Guy revelation. People don't change the way that they show up. For people that they love, they give it all they got and they meet you halfway. Give more than they take, follow through on what they say. Oh, I wish you'd do the same, but people don't change. People don't change. In the movie of your life, I'm an extra, cast aside on the move. You're the sun, you're delusional, and I'm done. 'Cause people show up, for people they love. People don't change the way that they show up. The people that they love, they give it all they got and they meet you but people don't change. Yeah.
Very cool.
Thanks.
That's a great one too.
Thank you.
There's definitely that kind of upswing in the beginning that's happening, which is really
Yeah.
interesting.
Totally. It's fun.
Cool. And so people don't change. And then the last one was, what was the tag again? I know I heard.
Common denominator.
Yeah,
That one,
change is that's funny.
Change is the only constant.
Yeah, I love
right.
that. That's pretty cool. I don't know if that was on purpose, putting those back to back here, but that
Yeah.
was cracking me up a little bit.
That is funny. Yep. I know. It's funny because I feel like writing that song has made me really reflect on, like, am I showing up for my people? You know what I mean? Versus it being this, like, you know, you're not doing this for me. But yeah, it's just so fun how writing can take on such a different, gives you just a different perspective, you know?
Yeah, do you typically write from an experience or just like an idea that you have in your head?
A little of both. I think mostly for my solo stuff, I write just from my own experience, but you know, other times I'm just like writing down titles, or like if I hear a quote or get an idea, then I'll write that down too. So yeah.
Yeah, so not necessarily a made-up scenario.
Yeah, sometimes they're made up and sometimes they're lived. Yeah.
Cool.
So.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, totally.
Let it take its form, right?
Right. Yep. Exactly. Yep. Sometimes there's a little of both, you know.
Yeah, because I think that can be interesting. I'm sure as like as writing a song, you know, you don't want to be super transparent with your wording, because then people know, okay, this happened to me, or but you can start to fudge it a little bit, and then it feels different.
Totally. Yep. Like that one I wrote like just from hearing all my friends on their terrible Hinge dates. And I was like, girl, like you gotta leave him. And you know, so it just kind of came, it's from first person, but it's not my own story,
Yeah,
you know?
I love that. That's
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah. Do we have time for
Yeah,
another?
let's do one more. Yeah.
Cool, okay. Is it okay if I do another Katie Peterson one?
Of course, yeah. This is your gig.
Cool. Well, I just thought that the timing of this was so wild because yesterday was the 10-year anniversary of my first LP ever. It was called Loose Ends, and so just kind of reflecting back on that experience and being such a young artist and so excited and hungry and just feeling really proud that I'm still doing this, you know? I'm really grateful. So this song is called Loose Ends, and yeah. It's all so familiar, it's almost the same. The art on the walls still hang there unframed.
Really cool. Great song there,
Thank
too.
you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
That's great. Do we have one more? I haven't been counting, so I'm sorry.
Sure.
I don't know where we're at.
Yeah, I think that's 6, but we can keep going, yeah.
Yeah, if you have one more new one that you
Yeah.
want to show, that'd be great.
Totally. Let's think here. I'm debating to play this one because I know my mom is watching. But
Is that? I don't know if that's good or bad. But
I know. I don't know if anybody's made any requests in the comments, but
no requests, I guess.
All right.
No requests yet.
Yes.
That would be interesting.
Well, we can do. Let me think here. We can do. Yeah, let's just do this one. We're gonna go for it. The song's called "Match the Effort." Stay honest, straight shoot what I need, own it when I mess up, say that I'm sorry, so I can see clearly when you're playing it down. Denial's a river, you tiptoe around, working hard to learn to let your heart walked away. Every time it's the same, and I don't wanna play this game. You see me naked, now it's like we're strangers, and I'm wasting my young years, tired and angry. Yeah, this time I might really be done. Don't ever wanna fall back in love. Don't want happy ever after, just someone to match the effort. I work so hard on myself. I read all the books to find deeper meaning. I'm meditating, so I can regulate my feelings. And is it really too much to ask to meet somebody who's doing that, who wants to show up as the better half? Don't need me to leave to know what they have. You've seen me naked, now it's like we're strangers, and I'm wasting my young years, tired and angry. Yeah, this time I might really be done. Don't ever wanna fall back in love. Don't want happy ever after, just someone to match the effort. Cause oh my, the bar's so low, not to generalize, but everyone I know is getting left behind, left and right. Copy paste the cop outline on, you're just too good for me. Wish I could be the one you need. Take no accountability, just go to therapy. If you wanna see me naked, if you don't wanna be strangers, I'm not wasting my young years trying to fix your behavior. Cause this time I might really be done. Don't ever wanna fall back in love. Don't want happy ever after, just someone to match the effort. Yeah, this time I might really be done. Don't ever wanna fall back in love. Don't want happy ever after, just someone to match the effort.
Whoa, cool. That's a
Yeah.
great one.
Thank you.
Is that an older one or is that also a new?
That's a new one. Yep.
Oh, perfect.
Full like pop production, and
Oh,
it's gonna
yeah.
be really fun.
On the new album, right?
Yep, new
Oh,
album. Yep.
excellent.
Yeah.
That's a great song.
Thank
There's some great
you.
lines in there too.
Thanks. Yeah.
Oh man, that's excellent.
Fun. Thanks.
Very, very cool. Thanks so much for all the songs.
Totally.
That's it, right? I guess
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm thinking over here. I'm just like enjoying it. I'm not paying any
Amazing.
attention to when we started or how many songs we've done. This is just great.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Also, don't know if you noticed, but the studio cat Rue was just sitting there watching you on the beam.
Oh, I didn't see.
She usually hides for sessions, but I think it's because you're playing piano and you're a good singer.
That's so
Yeah.
sweet. That's awesome.
That is cool. I didn't see her out here.
I'm glad to have her as an audience.
Yeah, really cool. Well, great. So everybody online, thanks so much for being here. If this is your first time being here, make sure to subscribe. We're now going to get into the interview section. So there's already been a few questions in the chat that I will make sure to get to. So let us know what else you have. Give some love for Katie. It was an excellent performance. She's going to join me on the couch here, and we're going to get started on the interview here in just a second. So thanks so much for being here tonight.
Cool. All right.
Yeah,
Should
come
I
on
hop
over.
here?
Yeah,
Do I
please.
bring the headphones?
You don't need them.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
All right.
And yeah, we're just going to do a quick adjustment on this. I think this.
She doesn't have a mic, Tom.
Oh, yeah, shoot. She needs a mic. Hey, that's important.
Yeah.
Just talk really loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually we have handheld mics, so I guess this is why we don't do this. So
Yeah.
I got this mic for you.
You can just put that one on Omni and put it between you guys,
Okay.
and then you don't need to use your mic.
Got it. Thank you, John. Thanks for keeping us honest. Do something different.
We'll figure this out. Lots of technical difficulties today.
Yeah, so this is a different setup for us. We haven't had anybody play piano like this in a while. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna use this mic so we can. It's for both of us.
So we did need a road mic.
We'll do that right here. That way I don't need a mic, so that's cool. I don't have to hold it. Is it too roomy or is it okay?
I think it's okay. Just
Good
lower it and put it between you two.
Yeah. All right. I just gotta not talk so loud. I think it sounds fine to me. I hear myself,
Great. There you
which
go.
I don't love doing, but I'll deal with it, of course. All right, cool. So thanks so much for being here, guys.
Could you have Will lower the mic? It's in the shot.
This mic?
Yeah. Or can you lower it?
Yeah.
And move it right between you on the couch.
What do you mean?
Yeah, like there. Yeah. Sorry.
That's all right. I don't know if this is smart or not.
Yeah, that's good. Now it's not covering your face anymore.
Oh, okay, perfect. It actually looks pretty good. I'm seeing it, not bad.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and if you want to use your mic, Tom, you could. Your voice sounds better in your mic.
All right, I can do that.
You got the podcaster voice.
You can't hear him, but he's talking
I
to me.
can. Yep.
So he's saying I can use this at least because I sound, I have
There you go.
the deepness in the voice. All right, thanks guys. It's been an interesting day of technical issues. So sorry we were a bit late. Things happen sometimes. Always weird things that we don't expect, unfortunately. But we're here now, and we have Katie. This was an incredible performance.
Thank you.
Katie Greene is an award-winning songwriter, so we're really happy to have her here. She's been here once before with her band Rebel Eves, but now is here again. Will, if you would, maybe sit over there before we keep going, because Katie's posture is awkward, right?
I was sending a ninja down to do that, to tell him
Go
that.
directly here.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
I
call.
think, sorry guys, we didn't rehearse the cameras for this. So yeah, you can look towards him, I'll maybe look towards us, and
Cool.
or you can look at me, I don't know. We'll get comfortable here on this couch, right? Are you just sinking in?
Yes, it's a very.
You just
synced
sink right
couch.
in. It doesn't look
Come-
like it, but it happens. All right, so again, thanks so much for being here, guys. If you got questions, comments for Katie, please let us know. We have a few in already. First one I have, so you have a new album, Emerald, coming out throughout this year. What's the concept of the album, being that it has this name, Emerald? We have these green lights going in here.
Yeah.
If you want to give us just a little idea of what that means to you.
Totally. Well, I think that just the color green has been kind of coming up for me a lot over the last year and a half, as just a representation of leaning into being softer and I'm an eldest daughter, straight A student, just kind of white knuckling through, and so I think it's just been an invitation to just let go a little bit, and so I think a lot of the songs that I've written for the record just were over a period of time, my just a lot from some of my lived experiences, and then a lot people don't change from other people's experiences that I just kind of put into song. But yeah, the title track is Emerald, which I didn't play tonight, but it really is just that focus on leaning into the softness. which is what I hope to do with this record. So.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And so you have a rebrand that you've done recently, changing your name to Katie Greene.
Yeah.
So I would assume that was on purpose to pick this name Emerald as your album.
Yeah, definitely. I know it sounds kind of like really on the nose, but it feels like it really sits well. And I also kind of wanted like a stage name to separate my like personhood and professional life. Like it's just when Rebel Eves like first started, it was just so much easier, I noticed, for me to like step on stage as like a band. And so I was like, I wonder like if that would change for my solo artistry as well. And it has. Like I feel like just being able to step into an artist's name on stage just really helps me to feel like the art isn't like, here's me bearing my soul. It's more just like, here's me sharing some art, you know?
Very cool. So
Yeah.
you've been using your given name for how long now?
Over 10 years, so yeah.
Okay. And did you know that a rebrand was necessary, or like you just said, after being in Rebel Eves, seeing the other side of it, that it was necessary?
I did The Artist Way over the last year. I don't know if you're familiar with that book, but I'd highly recommend it to anybody. But
It's up
really
here
just kind
in
of
the
getting in
studio.
touch with like your creativity and what you want out of your creative journey. And I think one of the premises is that you do morning pages every day. So like you wake up, you write 3 pages in your journal of just like complete, you know, subconscious thought, because you're like just waking up. And everything that I kept writing was just like, I want to change my name. And so I think it just came from a lot of like reflection and then also that experience. So.
Excellent. Did it feel at all that it was difficult to do, or was it almost cathartic to let the name go?
It was a little of both, you know, because I use Symphonic as my distributor, and they basically put my music on iTunes and stuff. And so I had reached out to them to be like, can I transfer my old catalog and just like change the name on the catalog? And apparently like they don't allow that to happen for a variety of reasons. But when I found that out, I was like, oh gosh, like then I'm really fully starting over. And so it took me a long time. And then I was talking to my partner about it, and he was like, well, would it make you sad to release these songs under Katie Peterson? And I was like, kinda. And he was like, then you have your answer, you know? So,
That's
yeah.
good advice.
Yeah,
I
it
agree
was.
with that. That's
Yep.
a great question.
Totally. Yeah, it was really helpful. So.
Cool. Well, yeah, because I'm sure at some point, if it's been 10 years, it might feel nice to move on in some way. And then you can wear this artist hat, like you said,
Yeah.
instead of being you maybe all the time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
That's really cool. I think it's interesting because I can imagine how hard it would be to say, I have 10 years of fans, and then, you know, maybe they have to find me in a new way.
Yeah.
Right. So you took, did you take all your other social media and just change the name?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was easy at least, because that's regaining followers is not fun.
Yeah.
So
That
that's
is
an
hard.
easy one. But I guess with the Spotify, I noticed with Spring, it has both of your names, right?
Yeah.
So do you think you'll keep that for this release?
I think Spring, because it was the first one under the new name, I thought it would be a good idea to release it under both so that my followers on Spotify under Katie Peterson can go to that artist, but from here on out, it'll all be under Katie Greene. So
Okay, cool.
it'll be an experiment to see how it goes. But
I
I'm
think people
hopeful.
will get there. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
I hope so.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
So you have a new single coming out every 6 to 8 weeks throughout the year, and then the album will come out. What's like your approach, I guess, for releasing singles, and how do you decide how many and how often?
Yeah. I guess like I knew that the record was going to be 10 songs, and I think because I am like starting over and rebranding, I felt like it would be appropriate to like just try and milk each song for what it's worth. And I've never done a release like that, so it just felt like it made sense to be able to like give each song the focus that I feel it deserves, because music is a big investment too, you know, so I want to make sure that each song gets its light of day. So
Very cool. And so 6 to 8 weeks seemed like a good amount to let the song grow and develop, right?
yeah, I think there's also like I'm also in the band The Rebel Leaves, and so we're going to be releasing some music this year as well. And so I don't want that to like, you know, I don't want us to have like a release day on the same day, and I want to be able to like promote both appropriately. I think that what they're saying still is like every 4 weeks is a good thing for the algorithm, but like it changes, the advice changes all the time. So you never know. But 6 to 8 weeks for me personally felt like I can really focus in for 4 weeks and then maybe let it live for 2 to 4 and then really focus in for 4 weeks for the next song and so on.
I like that idea because it's so hard to promote the same thing week after week. It feels like you're just yelling at the world.
Into the void.
Yeah. And it can be frustrating. I know when we've tried to do releases here, we'll sometimes drop the single on maybe the first of the month and then drop an affiliated video 2 or 3 weeks later. Because then it can feel, you're still promoting the song, but at least gives you something else to talk about, even though it comes from the same thing.
Yep.
But it's so difficult. I mean, did you ever consider not just doing the album and just doing all singles or anything like that?
I did because like, I started recording the album like 3 years ago, I realized today.
Wow.
And so I recorded the first song in the summer of 23 and just kind of realized like as I kept going, like I kept writing songs and it just sort of like accidentally turned into a project. And so, but I also just feel like it's like a body of work, like all the songs live together, they're connected, they're related, and I feel like there's like a story arc to the album, of just like self-discovery and all that. And so I feel like it started out as singles and then I was like, this is something more, you know?
Cool. Yeah. I think it's great. I mean, I'm excited to hear each one and then as a whole, because I'm sure. Are the singles in order of the album?
No.
Okay,
yeah.
So you've had some fun changing the order of how they're released.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Interesting. Because I could see that being a challenge in a way too, because you're releasing all 10 songs as singles, which I think is really fun. That's not often the case, but I think that's really cool. Why not? Have fun with it and do your thing. But I could see it being easy to just say, oh, I'll just release them in order, but maybe that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, I'm releasing the first couple, like Spring was a super slow acoustic, and then Hard Part of Healing is like a little bit more common denominator is what I would call like poetic punk, you know, that's what I keep referring to it as. And so I think just like having a little taste of everything versus the album itself is kind of like rock, soft, you know? So I was like, I don't want to give a false impression, I guess.
Sure,
you know?
That makes sense. Yeah, because you want the first song to be representative of you, of course, as the brand, and then keep that kind of story going, which is cool. It's really exciting. I think that's the hardest part and the most fun part about maybe releasing music. Because even every project we've been working on here, you start out with this idea and then it can become existential. Like, you have an album of 12 songs. Should I make it 2 albums? Should I make it 3 albums? Should I make it 4? Like, should I do all singles? It can start to get overwhelming because you want it to live as long as it can on social media, and that's the tough part. An album can kind of come and go as a one thing, but I love that it's just 10 singles because that's what you want.
Yeah.
Realistically, like everybody would give their advice, or who knows, like depending on if you care, but it's your decision. It's your album, like you said. It's an investment, and you want it to live the best way it can be.
Yeah.
So
totally.
that's really cool, and I'm excited to see it kind of roll out as it goes.
Definitely.
So now that you have an album, you have a rebrand, what is your process typically for planning the release?
Yeah, and I will say too, just really quickly, my plan is also to make CDs well before the last song comes out and like sell those at my shows, because like I want people who are like, you know, supporting me to like have it. But I just think like in this day and age with, you know, Instagram and stuff, just how fast-paced everything is, I don't want to just like put an album out and have it be like present for 2 days and then gone. So that's kind of the reason for the online single release plan that way.
That's cool. I love that. So the people who are really interested can have all the songs first, right, before they actually hit the streaming. What kind of art are you doing? Is it different for the singles versus for the actual album?
Kind of. I did like a photo shoot with my friend Winter Wilson down in Nashville. She's amazing. And we just did like a couple different outfits. And so like all the singles will kind of flow together. And then I'm pretty sure that the album is just going to be, like, I have the photo already, but they'll all be photos that are related, so.
Cool, I like that. And so it's creating the theme as well.
Yeah, totally.
Very cool. Excellent. So you have this idea of the process of planning the release, right? Because this is all kind of happening at the same time. How do you typically plan your content? How are you planning, like, okay, I'm going to do these singles and this?
Yeah, I am like a big planner, so I try to do like bulk content days. So I'll film a bunch of different things and different outfits, and then throughout the month I'll, like, you know, edit the reels. So like 2 weeks before the song will come out, I'll spend a lot of time, like as much as I can each day, editing reels and making sure that they're like ready to post. Because the hard part about releasing a million different singles is that, like, I'm always working on stuff, but like right now I'm working on the stuff for June's release, even though I'm putting out a song in May. So like it's just a lot of planning ahead and making sure that you have stuff to post, you know, 3 times a week or so for each song.
Are you scheduling those June posts this far out, or are you just making them?
Yeah, I'm just making them.
Okay.
Yeah, just making sure that I have, like, oh gosh, like it's release day. Like I don't want to be like looking up the, you know, oh, where's the picture of the album cover and like who are the credits for this? Like doing that the day of, I have done that so many times, and it's just so time consuming and stressful. And I also want to make sure that, like, you know, nobody doesn't get credit, you know, or I forget. So yeah.
So you have the singles planned out already as far as the releases in order, so that's all taken care of.
Yep.
Right. So when, you know, that's kind of been that was the first process, first step, would you say?
Yeah,
Creating
I
that?
look at the calendar and I'm like, okay, like counting 6 weeks out, and then, okay, oh, I have a vacation that week, or oh, I've got a wedding, like I've got to move that around. So it's like literally just kind of scheduling it around my life and my availability for like how to promote it. But yeah, so planning it out first.
Are all the songs ready to go in the distributor, or you'll get to each song as you need?
They're about to all be ready. So like I did the first few, first. I've been working on the last, like finalizing the last mixes over the last like 2 months. And so now they're like this close to going to mastering for the rest. So I have 4 completely done right now. And then the last
ready.
6, will be done soon.
So yes, you have March, May, June, and then somewhere July. Cool.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So now it's interesting that you did it that way rather than wait for the whole album to be mastered, because you would have waited essentially.
Right. Yeah.
So it's cool that you did it that way, because that's a challenge for sure. If you're waiting for the whole album to be mastered, it's kind of keep pushing the release.
Exactly.
Did you know that was going to happen, and you said, I'm just going to keep going?
No, I mean, I think like had I wanted it to happen that way, like I could have pushed it, but I've never made an album this slowly before. Like usually I'll go into the studio, I'm there for 5 days, it gets mixed within the next 2-3 weeks, maybe a month, then it's sent to mastering. So like the whole process has been pretty quick for me in the past. But because I was like actively writing in the middle of these recording sessions, like it's just been kind of fun to like really take my time with the mixes and be like, oh, like what if we put this BGV here, and get so specific. Like sometimes that can be a pitfall, right? Like you can get really stuck on tiniest details. But it's also just like, I don't know, as soon as a song is released, then it's not really yours anymore. And so I think there's part of me too that like has just really enjoyed having that like personal time with my songs. Yeah.
I love that. It seems it's great that you have a plan in a way, but are also really adaptive to what's happening.
Yeah, totally.
Because sometimes people they're just shooting from the hip, where it's like, oh, we got a song, put it out now.
Right.
And it's fine, but it's better to create a little bit of plan and a little bit of buzz. To release one song out of nowhere because it's done is not going to do anything or help you.
Totally.
Right, and like make 3 songs and at least create a cadence of that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where I think it's hard with social media, because you want to always keep moving, but to take a little bit of a breath and say, let's build a little body of work first.
Yeah.
Because it's hard. It's not easy. I mean, especially, you know, I'm really curious for you, like as a solo artist, how do you handle all this work, and how do you balance like writing versus recording versus content planning versus touring, playing shows? I mean, there's a lot of hats to wear as a solo artist.
Definitely. I think what I try to view it like in cycles. So the summer is like the busiest gigging time. It's where like, you know, everybody wants to be outside listening to music. So like you can get a ton of gigs in the summer. And then in the winter, I feel like that's like my like introspective, like everybody wants to hibernate. So like that's where I'm doing most of my writing. And then like in the spring, between like February and, you know, April has been when I'm doing most of my administration, like getting my website together, like making a plan, like a, you know, bare bones plan for social media of like, okay, how do I want to promote this, like this song, and what kinds of content ideas do I have for it? So kind of brainstorming it. So I guess like one of the reasons that I think planning is so beneficial in that period is that like if I were to have to like think about the content that I want to post, edit the reels, put together like the posters and make the album art while I'm on the road, like it's not going to get done, you know, like I'm in the car half the time, or I'm exhausted, I'm getting home at 2 a.m. like, so I think that it's just been helpful to kind of plan around what my year is going to look like and be like, what's going to help me not burn out, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. When you have your summer gigs, like that you're starting to kind of ramp up now, how far in advance do you typically book those?
I would say like 6 to 8 months, sometimes more, depending on the venue. Mm-hmm.
Excellent. So you know then in January that your June is going to be mobbed, and your July and everything, which again is great. I think that's the key in being successful, right? Not to tag our own show here, but it's like this idea of professional musicianship, and like this is Katie is a great example of that. I'm sorry to be now talking to the camera here, like in this way, but it's not just happening overnight. I'm sorry, right? Like you're putting in a ton of time and effort. You're planning your whole year, a year in advance, right? And it's up to you to make it happen realistically, right? And you're doing it, which I think is great, but I think it's helpful for other people to think about it that way. It's not about this immediate satisfaction in 1 month or two. It's what does my whole year look like ahead of me, right? And I think it's really cool. Like you're booking out in June, July, August, and so you can't just dink around in January, February, April, right, or whatever. You have to do the work to get ready for yourself to set up the next phase in a way, which I think is really interesting.
It also helps you, like, I mean, or it helps me at least, like, not just like fall into a pit of despair in the winter because it's like you're actively working towards stuff. Or it's like, when I'm on the road, a lot of the times I miss writing because I don't have time for it. And so then it's like, I have November and December to actually look forward to because, you know, yes, it will be cold, but like I get to play my guitar all day, you know?
That's really cool. You're just sitting and enjoying and writing. So if you were, I don't know, come up with some ideas on the road, you just quickly record them on your phone and kind of say, I'll revisit this? Is that typically how it'll go? Or if you have an afternoon, hash it out?
Exactly, yep. If I have an idea right away, then I try to like voice memo it or write it down. And then like any off time, sometimes that works in your advantage because then it's like you have to use the time that you have. So I'm like, okay, I've got a 3-hour block, like let me just kind of hash out this idea. And then you revisit it when you have more time. And that's how I know whether a song is like gonna have a life outside of that idea. Because if you revisit it, you know, 2 weeks later and you're like, wow, that's a great idea, then it's awesome. And then there are a lot of times where I'm coming back to the idea and I'm like, that was an off day, but that's okay, you know? And so,
that's all good. I think that's a fun thing. I remember the first time I wrote something and came back a couple months later and still liked it. I'm like, I think I've gotten to a new like level. Because I like that still, which is really fun.
That's what I'll say too about waiting to release is I used to be like, I just wrote a song, I have to record it, I have to put it out right now. And I don't think that that's like a wrong way to do it, but I do think that like when you wait on a song, like if you like it a year later, then you have a good song. If you're like not excited to put it out after a while, then, you know, it's a little something to think about.
Yeah, I think it's tough conversely to that too. Sometimes people wait on songs that they love and then they keep writing more, and then after a while they don't like them anymore.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, you should have just released it when you were excited about it.
Yeah.
Because now you've written 5 more, and I get that the old one doesn't feel as relevant or whatever. And there's a fine line, and it's hard.
Very fine line. It's super hard.
It's tough in the digital age, especially because you can edit things to forever on the computer. Different mixes, different recordings. Add this, take this away. And,
Yep.
of course, pre-computer, you were kind of stuck in what you had, which is good and bad, right?
Yeah.
There's different reasons to do both things. So I think that's great. I mean, it's cool. I mean, I'm still kind of stuck on this idea of professionalism thing because people sometimes look at maybe playing music or writing songs as like you do it when you want, and it's just like very casual. But if you want to be a professional musician, to me, you have to plan it as if it is a real job, and it is, right? And I know I'm using this funny word now, but if you're going to do it right, and like create a thing that's going to get you through the year and have this plan, not just like, oh, I just happened to write this song today and I'm just going to throw it out next week and then see what happens, because it doesn't work.
Right.
I mean, you maybe get a little love on social media, but just as quickly you're going to get nothing because you don't have stuff to follow up with.
I think because it's not repeatable. You know, so it's like you could write like the best song ever and be like really excited about it, put it out, and it might have its day in the sun. But then if you don't have anything to follow that up with, or if you don't have, you know, just your ducks in a row of how to kind of navigate what to do after that, you know, I hear a lot of times where like people will get their chance, and then if you're not prepared, like you don't have a website, you don't have like a vision, you don't have other songs, like you don't know how to play your instrument, like I feel like that's so rare nowadays. Like people who want to do music like are in it, you know. But I do think that there are opportunities that I think about that I had in my younger years where I was totally not ready and completely unprofessional, and like you miss out on those opportunities when you don't have your ducks in a row, you know.
Is there an opportunity you would be willing to share that you might have missed out on?
Totally.
That you feel?
I had the opportunity to get my music placed in a movie that was going to be on Hulu.
Okay.
And I didn't have my stems like from this recording, and so I was like frantically emailing my producer who was in the session with another artist. He got them to me, but like by the time I had gotten back to my sync agency, they had already picked another song and moved on.
How many, was it like an hour, a couple hours?
It was like the morning to the afternoon. So like it was like if you have the opportunity, you best have your, you know, shit together to like be able to give it to them. I still kick myself about that one.
Whoa, a couple hours. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I've heard that when you are typically when you submit to an agency, sync agency, they usually ask you for all the stems up front.
Totally.
So they didn't.
And I think this was several years ago, and so I don't know if the sync agency had like not thought about that, or if it was like something that was different, like if they were just getting started. It was in 2019, 2018.
I see.
So
well, I can see how you're kicking yourself, but it's also on them. They should have.
Totally. Yeah.
They should have
asked
had it
before. Yeah.
Sync agency, are you still with them?
Yeah.
Please
So.
give Katie a new movie on Hulu,
There you
because
go.
that was your bad. The interesting thing, I was just talking to somebody about this the other day, and this friend of mine who wants to try to get into syncing, I said, make sure you have all your stems ready.
Yeah.
I knew it was quick, but I didn't think they would move on within a couple hours.
Yeah.
I would say a day. I've heard it a day.
Totally.
When they ask you for the stems or an instrumental, you better have it that day. But
Yep.
pretty crazy for a couple
Yeah.
hours. And also good on your producer to send it to you that quickly.
Totally.
That's pretty
Yeah.
awesome on their part, but also tough that they didn't take it.
Definitely. And one of the reasons that I've been waiting to like now that I'm about to get all of my songs mastered, I'm only going, and my producer is awesome about this, like he's like, as soon as they're mastered, then I send you all the stems at once, so like you have everything together. So like even though I'm mastering spring, you know, back in January, like I'm gonna get all of it together, and then I'm gonna submit it to my sync company and be like, here's all the information that you need, here's the release plan, like what can you do with this, and hopefully I'll get another movie up, you know?
Okay, excellent.
So, yeah,
that's really nice of him to do that.
Totally.
Because it's smart. It's good on both sides.
Definitely.
For you, him, them, it's in one package. Can you talk maybe a little bit about sync? Have you had other stuff placed?
With the same agency, I had a very random placement. I think I got like $5,000 for it or something. It was awesome, but it was on some like Irish travel advertisement on like the back of planes.
Okay.
And so they wanted an instrumental for a couple of my tracks, so I made a little bit of money there, which is pretty great. But
do you have an exclusive with them?
No, non-exclusive. Yeah.
Interesting. So when you have new songs, they'll take anything you got? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, yep. So they kind of vet all their artists, and then you can submit, and you know, sometimes you'll get like random radio plays. Like I'll get like $35 every once in a while, you know, so like those bigger, that's the only big sync placement that I've ever gotten. But I know a lot of people in Nashville and in Michigan that like make livings off of sync. Like Jillian, my bandmate, she would never say this, but she like wrote the jingle for Art Van, and like she had some really big success for. When I say she would never say that, she would never like brag on herself. Like she's incredible, and yeah. So anyway.
Interesting. So you're a part of the sync company, right? So whatever music you write, they'll just take, right? They're not going to say, no, we don't want that song, right?
Yeah, they might say, like, if it's an older song especially, they might be like, well, most of the places that we're looking for are looking for unreleased or like going to be released soon songs. So they might give you a heads up that like nothing may happen, but I've never had them, once they like accept you as an artist, I think that they just accept any submissions from you.
Cool. The reason I ask is because some artists that we've worked with that have done some syncing, who have had stuff already in a catalog, when they release new stuff, they might just pick and choose the new stuff.
Sure.
So that's where I'm curious. I'm sure every company is different, so they'll decide what they can sell realistically.
Totally.
Because if they don't want to bog down their catalog meaning with stuff that they know won't go anywhere for them.
Exactly.
Presumably.
Yeah.
Well, that's really cool. I think thanks for sharing that, because it's a really great tidbit. Anybody out there, if you're getting sync licensing, you want to get into that, make sure you have all your stems, have an instrumental track ready to go. Because apparently a couple hours is all they need, which is crazy. I would say a day makes sense. So maybe change your.
And honestly, like, don't quote me on that. When I think about it, I was like, it was like that, but I'm pretty sure it was like that morning, and then by that evening or the next morning, you know.
Sure.
So.
That makes sense. Well, very cool. Thanks for sharing that. I know, I'm sorry, it's probably one of those middle of the night things where you're like, no.
I
know. Well, cool. I think we have a couple good questions in the chat. This is a good one. It's relevant to what you're saying. Have you ever sold any songs you wrote to other people or another person, another artist? And if so, how did that process work?
Yeah, I have never sold a song of mine. I know that that's like pretty rare now. I feel like a lot of, unless like you have a publisher. So like in Nashville, there's a lot of publishing companies who basically will hire writers to write a bunch of songs, and then they will pitch them to artists like Luke Bryan or Carrie Underwood, and then those artists have the opportunity to like, oh, it's the cat.
You hear the cat meowing right now.
Those artists will listen to the songs and then have an opportunity to like, you know, pass or try them out. And so in that case, the writer isn't like selling their song, they're just like, if that artist records it, then they're gonna get royalties for life. So it's what they call like mailbox money.
Cool.
So yeah.
So you have to be part of that publisher?
To get to that level of like pitching to artists, I think that you have to have a publisher most of the time. Okay. Super, super rare otherwise.
Interesting. So I'm curious, like, I don't know what publisher like Luke Bryan or Carrie Underwood is on, let's say, but if you're in their group, I wonder if there's like a pecking order, and like, who has the top priority. Like if Carrie and Luke, let's say, want the song, who gets to choose?
Sure.
Because otherwise, or maybe who's like ready for a new song, like a cycle kind of thing.
Definitely.
But that's interesting. I mean, would you consider getting into a publishing company if they would give you these opportunities?
I think so. I mean, I love writing. I think it's the reason that I moved to Nashville. Like it's my first love outside of singing, I think. And so I think that like if I had the opportunity to just like write songs all day, every day, then I would love to get paid for that, to have the opportunity to pitch them. But I also think that there are not like a ton of writers that like, so for example, when I'm writing my music, I'm not thinking about like, oh, this would be a great Carrie Underwood song. Like writing in that nature is such a different like brain muscle that you're using. And so I think it's awesome. I think it's a great skill to have, but I don't know that I would want to only do that kind of writing. I would have to keep writing for myself too, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that would make sense, because I'm curious in the same vein. Like if you had 10 songs and you showed them to the publisher, they would say like, these 2 or 3 I could sell, but these 7, let's say, you keep for yourself. I think there's a few of the songs you played tonight that I could easily hear on like a pop like chart from somebody.
Thanks.
Yeah. And it's just really the creative taglines. I don't know like a better way to put it than that.
Sure.
Because sometimes it's just about that phrasing at the end of a chorus or the tagline that makes you think like, oh yeah. There's definitely a few tonight I think that totally had that. So like, great job, honestly. But you should keep them if you want.
Right.
But I don't know if Carrie Underwood says she wanted it. I mean, maybe.
I wouldn't turn her down.
Because it's probably there's a good and a bad to it, right? Because the mailbox money sounds nice. That can keep you kind of moving and living essentially, and then you do what works with you.
Totally.
I know I was in Nashville at one of those cafes, and everybody was kind of saying, oh, I wrote the song and blah, 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 picked it up. And it was kind of fun to hear, because one of the guys had written the song that the NBA picked up.
Nice.
And I'm like, oh, I actually did hear that during like NBA's final season. I don't know why, because I don't really watch TV, but I remember recognizing it. But it was really cool, and I don't remember the name of that venue. It wasn't the Bluebird, it was another.
Was it the Listening Room?
Probably,
maybe?
yeah. It's like a pretty big spot.
Yep.
I went there a couple times, and it was cool to just be there and see these different approaches to songwriting. And some of them were writers for themselves, some were writers for others, or both, right? So it's cool to see that.
Yeah.
Because you do a lot of writing with friends and other people. So talk to me about collaborating, like how you go about that.
Yeah. Co-writing is huge in Nashville, so like a lot of the times you'll have 2 or 3 people, sometimes even 4, writing one song. It's a great way to like meet people, network, collaborate, but I've written with a lot of my friends and a lot of other people that I've met through, there's an organization called Nashville Songwriters Association, NSAI, and you can have opportunities to just like meet people and write with them, and yeah.
Very cool. So when you're writing with somebody, how do you often talk about splits and all that?
Yeah, I think in different cities, it depends. Like if you look at like a Justin Bieber song, for example, there's like sometimes 12, 15 writers on the credits. Like if you go on song credits, I have no idea how they do those splits. Like in Nashville, if there's 4 people that write a song, even if you're just in the room and you contribute 1 word, like you get 25%. So it's just like an even split. In LA, I think I've heard there are sometimes where you'll get like, oh, you wrote 10% of the song, or you contributed this much. So I think it just depends.
So people will get more specific on it there.
Yeah.
We had a guy named Dalton Thomas. I don't know if you know him.
I love Dalton.
He's a drummer.
He's my roommate.
No way. He's your roommate now?
Yep. We've lived together for like 4.5 years.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Did you know he was on this?
I did not know that.
Oh, really
That's
funny.
So awesome.
Oh, that is hilarious. Well, hi, Dalton.
That's great.
Good to see you.
Dalton.
So he was one of our first guests on here.
Awesome.
Yeah, he was really early on, and he was himself, but he played through drums as a producer, as well as talking about like a drummer and a producer. But he said, it's funny, if you change a word, you get a third.
Yep.
So it's funny because I've repeated that to other people, and they're like, that sounds ridiculous. And it's a great phrase.
Yeah.
But I think it makes sense to the point, like, if you're helping change, if you're helping something in the song, you should get some.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's cool that you say that, because it's hard. You start to get into the 10% thing, it just can get vague.
Yeah.
It seems to be people are happier when they just split evenly. Some of the biggest bands who have been splitting evenly for years, they're probably just all happy because they're not petty over things.
For sure. Unless you're the person that's just sitting there every time and not saying anything,
Yeah.
like, then you might have to have a conversation. But like in general, I've been a part of rights where I am that person, but I've been in a lot of rights where like I'm leading the whole right, or it's like super equal. And either way, like in order to write that song, you need that arrangement of people and ideas and like, you know, soundboards basically to bounce ideas off of. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because maybe that person who only is adding 10%, if you will, maybe that's the best 10%.
Totally.
Maybe that's what's pushing over the edge. And I think that's so difficult to quantify sometimes.
Definitely.
Have you read How to Make It in the New Music Business?
No,
By
I have
Ari
not.
Gerstan?
I've listened to a bunch of his like podcasts and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so he has, it's probably like version 3 by now, because
Yeah.
the original version, I mean, there's updates to it just because of how music has changed. It's really well done.
Yeah.
It's a long book. It's very deep. It's like almost a lot to digest.
Totally.
But what's cool, I think, my suggestion would be, if you do read it or listen to it, because I listen to it, like read sections that apply to you in the moment, because sometimes like reading all these different sections, it's like not relevant, and it's like just feels overwhelming.
Totally.
To me, it did. I'm like, I could be doing all this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, I don't need that really now.
Right.
So he talks about the same thing. The guy who might change one word might have pushed it over the edge.
Exactly.
To make it successful. I still think it's really funny that Dalton is your roommate. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, we just moved out of that house, but yeah, we've been living together for like 4.5 years. He's now living with his girlfriend.
Oh, cool. Congrats.
Yeah. Totally.
Really interesting. Yeah, but it's cool that at least there's that ethos there, because you know, I've heard it with certain people, they can get funny about credits and writing with them. They want you to sign NDAs, and like they everything that you write in their place is their thing, and it's not necessarily in Nashville, just anywhere.
Right.
There's people who just have these expectations. But what I like to talk about this for is that reason. Everybody is kind of different.
Yeah.
And if you want to sign something that says, okay, give your rights away to this guy or this producer, go ahead, just be weary of that.
Yeah.
It's better to just get your, feel comfortable, split it evenly, because people, nobody cares about splits until there's money involved.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of, unfortunately, the consensus I get even on this show sometimes. People are like, oh, we don't worry about it.
Right.
Well, I get it, but you're not making any money
success,
now.
Though,
you hope to make money.
Right.
That's the goal. You hope to make money, I think, and make a sync for, and again, people, it's like they're looking at their Spotify. You're not making anything on there. You're making pennies.
Pennies, yeah.
So the split's pennies, it doesn't matter. But $5K on a sync, which is, a lower end sync. Sorry, no offense.
No,
right?
yep, it
There's
is,
a lot of big syncs.
Yeah.
That's the kind of money you want to be splitting.
Yep.
That's the point of doing your splits correctly and just being professional.
Yep.
Another tag. Sorry, guys.
It's the part of the business,
Yeah.
Every musician is an artist, but you just have to think smart. Like you just have to make sure that like if we're writing a song and you're gonna go and take that to your publisher and submit it to Luke Bryan and you say, I wrote this by myself, you better have some documentation to back up the fact that like, nope, I was a writer on this song, like I need that money as well.
That's a really interesting point, because that probably does happen.
Yeah, hopefully rarely, but I mean, there are stories for sure. Yeah. I will also say too, I think I told you this on the phone when we kind of were talking, but like Dolly Parton wrote I Will Always Love You. Elvis wanted to record that song and like completely lowballed her on like the money that he was going to give her to record it, and she's like, I'm going to wait, and I want to hold on to some of these rights. And then Whitney Houston comes along, records that song, and Dolly also of course like has her own version, but like when you think about like selling a song, like always make sure you know what you have, because if you're selling a song that you're like, yeah, I'm not really attached to it, like you still, it might make a lot of money for you, more than what they're offering you.
On the back end.
On the back, yeah, yep.
So yeah, that's an interesting point as well. So if you're in that space, make sure you understand, is it worth some money now or some money over a long period of time? And maybe it depends on who you're selling it to, right?
Yeah.
So you typically written songs with friends as collaboration. Does anybody else release those under their own album or artist name? I mean.
Yeah, yep. I've had a couple, like we call them cuts, where people will record songs that we've written together. So my friend Terry, she was like my first friend in Nashville. She is the front woman of Bronte Fall, and so she's recorded a couple songs that we've written together. I recorded the song Home that we wrote together on my album Limitless, and yeah, I've written like with Grace before we were a part of the band. Like that's how we met, as co-writing, and so she's written or recorded a song I think that we wrote together called Brightest at Night. I just got word today that my friend Miggy Snyder, who's down in Nashville, is putting a song that we wrote together on her album. So, you know, it's just like, you know, my friends, and we're all kind of in the same boat of trying to do this artist thing, but it's always such a compliment when it's like, oh, you love this thing that we made so much that you're like investing your time and your money and your energy and putting it out in the world. So it's cool.
In that situation, so you said Miggy, right? So you wrote this song, and now it's going to be kind of her version of the song?
Yeah.
Her, right?
Yeah, yep.
So you wrote it together, and like it was in its infancy then, right? But now she's kind of interpreted it into whatever it is, and it's on her album.
Yeah, I think she sent me the final mix of the song, but like I had nothing to do with the production or the recording. Typically, as a writer, like you don't. So like. You just realize, they are just telling you like, hey, I'm recording this song, and you're like, cool. And that's another thing to keep in mind when you're doing a co-write. Make sure you know like who it's for. You know, like when we wrote with Miggy, it was me and her and Alyssa Trahan, and so it's a three-way write, and we were writing for Miggy's project.
Okay,
so
cool.
like knowing that going in helps a lot.
That makes sense. I was kind of wondering because, for say you were writing with her and it's been 6 months, and all of a sudden she gives you this mix, and you're like, I don't like this. I mean, at that point, it doesn't matter, right? Because she's interpreted it, and she's made her version of it, if you will.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if you told her you didn't like it, that's fine, right? It doesn't matter to her. She could just do her own thing.
Totally. Yeah.
And that's kind of what I was kind of getting at, maybe without spoiling it before I said it. But what you said is really interesting. You're writing for her project, not just writing for fun, the three of you, necessarily.
Like she was looking for songs to put on a record.
Cool.
And so that's the other cool thing too, like when you, there's a song called Consequences, and forgive me, I can't remember the main artist's name, but Nicole Gallion and Emily Weisband were both writers on that song, and it was a huge pop hit. I feel really embarrassed that I can't remember the name. It's like Stella, maybe. Is it Lennon Stella? I think it might be Lennon Stella. But anyway, huge pop hit, and all of them recorded a version, and they're all like similar because it's the bones of the song, but they're all produced in different ways, and I love when people do that.
Yeah, I think that would be really fun. I don't know many of those offhand that are done that are just happen to be that way.
Yeah.
But I would love to do comparisons because, you know, even if you write together, the production, if it's one person kind of driving that ship, then it's gonna be changed differently.
Totally.
Which is really cool. I'm happy that we got into this.
Yeah.
Would you say what's the best thing to do in a co-write, and what's the worst thing to do?
Listen. Best thing to do is listen. And the worst thing to do is to shoot down every idea that someone has and not contribute your own idea. So like if you say, oh, I think we should write, you know, oh, the sky is blue. And I'm like, I don't like that. And I don't offer an alternative, or like there's just so many different ways that you can phrase the like not liking something that isn't rude. So
yes, I agree with that 100% in production. Just yes and.
Yes.
Or like, let's try it a little bit, and then maybe let it go, or let somebody get their idea out.
Yeah.
Often, when you're doing production or co-writing, the idea is not hashed. They're kind of like figuring it out as they're talking to you. So give them the 10 minutes, give them the 20 minutes, give them an hour to like get it out sometime.
Totally.
And then if you kind of say, no, it's not going there, maybe it's not quite right yet. It hasn't translated to the instrument or the mouth or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is so interesting. But have you had any bad situations in co-writes?
I mean, like a couple. I think that when I first moved to town, you just like want to write with everybody, and so that's part of the like, you know, Nashville sort of orientation is like, who do you write well with? And some people who are really, really great writers like might just not jive, you know? And so I think the best co-writes that I've been in are when someone brings an idea. Most of them just start with like an hour-long conversation where we're just like talking about what's going on in our lives. And then, you know, a song eventually comes out of that. A line that I really love that I've learned since being there is like, let's say we're really stuck on a line during a co-write and we're like, I don't, this isn't it. It's like, let's use that as a placeholder. We'll come back to that. I think we can beat it. So like, instead of saying like, it's another way of saying yes and, you know, but the bad co-writes that I've been in, which I can't even like think of one specifically in my head, but like, I've just heard of a lot of bad ones where people just are shooting down ideas and completely not willing to compromise, I guess.
Okay, I'm thinking now, if you're in a bad co-write, let's just say you and I write a song together, but at the end of it you hate me. What do you do then? Do you say like, I just wrote this with you, but I want it?
Well, if we're leaving co-write and I hate you, then I probably am not a fan of the song either.
I agree with that.
You know?
I agree with that.
So,
but like maybe whatever your idea, let's say, that you contributed to the song that we wrote, and I'm like, well, I like it. I'm gonna do it anyway, right? I still have to give you credit, I guess, at that point, or else you'll sue me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it kind of depends on the situation. There are some like mentors who have had a lot of success in the industry who will like do a co-write mentor session with an artist, and then they just don't have their name on the final credits. So like, you could potentially do that, be like, I helped this person write the song, but like I don't want credit on it. Or if it's like you really disagree and you don't like each other, but it's a great song and you're gonna record it, like we might not talk, but you're gonna have to like write the split and make sure that my PRO number is on the song.
Yeah, because if I'm gonna release it, then you're gonna, if I don't get your credit before, you're gonna come after me.
Yeah.
For some, because I'm just thinking out loud in a way where you could start a project with somebody and then eventually be like, you know, I don't like this, I don't like them, I don't want to finish it. But then if the other person's like, well, I want to do it anyway,
yeah,
fine. But they just need to give you the credit.
Right? Yeah. And hopefully, I mean, you can get through those differences, you know. I think that creative differences are some of the hardest conflicts to have. But just kind of like coming back to like, hey, we're on the same team, we're trying to make art, like it's subjective. I love that you love this idea. It's not, I'm not a fan, so I'm gonna bow out, but like you keep running with the idea, you know? Interesting.
Because there's just, it seems to be there's so many shiesty people.
Yeah.
And hopefully they're getting weeded out or they're getting canceled.
Totally.
If that's the right way to go about it.
Yeah.
So I think you've had a lot of contests, which I think are really awesome, and you've won a lot of awards in the International Songwriting Competition, John Lennon Songwriting, AAA Record of the Year by Indie Acoustic Projects. Do you typically find these contests, or how do you go about that?
Yeah. Sometimes they're just like really targeted ads, you know, that I'm like, oh, this looks cool, and then I'll look into it and it seems legit. The International Songwriting Competition, like the reason that I submitted to the country category was because you got free recording time in Nashville, and I was like, cool, that'd be great if I won it. And then I did, and I got to record in Nashville. So it's kind of like looking at the contests that like actually follow through on giving the prizes to the artists, because I think there was a while there where there were a lot of like contests that just really didn't follow through on the prizes. So you have to kind of vet them a little bit, but most of the ones that are like out now and still standing, you know, it doesn't really do anything for your career necessarily, but it does give you like accolades to put on your, you know, electronic press kit and share. And then, I mean, sometimes you get money too.
Okay.
So,
So typically it's more exposure.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So I think I have another question. You've touched on a lot already, but you moved to Nashville in 2019, right? And it sounds like it's been an incredible experience. So for me to already say, do you think it was worth moving to Nashville from Michigan? I think we already know the answer to that.
Yeah.
And I also, you know, but is there anything else that you maybe haven't mentioned other than the incredible amount of co-writes that you would say living in Nashville has been really beneficial for?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I've just learned so much about writing by being so immersed in the culture there. Like there's shows every single night, and every time that I go out, it makes me want to like go back home and write a song, you know? So like every time that I'm hearing something, Nashville will either like inspire you or defeat you, and a lot of the time it's just both, you know? I might go and hear a great song and be like, I'm never writing anything again, and then also get inspired to keep going.
Yeah,
you know?
I love that. Because I know my wife went there years ago, and she's a great singer. She loves karaoke. I can't stand it. But she went to some karaoke place, and she said everybody was incredible.
Yeah.
And it was making her nervous. But the people were really fun and nice about it.
Yeah.
Because my wife she's great. She'll sing like Bohemian Rhapsody and get a bunch of free drinks. And it's funny, but like around here, I can't stand going.
I hear you.
Every once in a while I do, but it's fun, and it's nice that people are cool about it.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, this is our last question. If there's any more in the chat, this is your last chance, so you got to do it now. So we ask the same question to everybody at the end of the set, and it is, how do you define success as a musician, and do you feel that you are there yet?
Oof, I love that question. I will tell a story to kind of answer, if that's okay.
Of course.
There was an artist, an unknown artist, that was playing Bridgestone Arena, so like the biggest arena that you can play. And someone asked them like, oh, like you've made it, you know, you're successful. And I think they said, well, the artist before me like sold out 2 nights in a row, so like I'm not there yet. And I think that there are just 2 ways to look at that. Like you can look at Bridgestone and be like, wow, I've really made it, or you can continue to just feel like you're not there yet the whole way. And so I think what I've had to learn over the years is just like, I do think I've made it. Like I feel like I, you know, have worked really hard. I'm putting out music, I'm writing songs, I'm touring the country, I'm meeting new people, I'm hanging out with my friends, I'm writing with my friends. And like, whether I'm doing that at this level or selling out Bridgestone, I'm still doing it, you know? And so I think it's just really important, like as independent musicians, to define success on like your own terms. It doesn't mean to like not set goals to get to the next level, but I think that we're doing ourselves a disservice if we are constantly thinking about the next step instead of being like taking a second to look back, you know? So yeah.
Cool. That's a great answer.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I think it's great. The story was really nice.
Yeah.
Because it can be hard when you're kind of chasing that all the time, but live in the moment, be present, and be happy with where you are, and understand, okay, now what can I do?
Right.
Or am I cool here?
Yeah. Yep.
Which is great. Well, thanks so much.
Yeah.
Everybody on the internet there, thanks so much for being with us tonight. It's been a really great episode here with Katie Greene. Make sure to follow her on all the social media. She's got a new song coming out tonight at midnight, so check it out today, night, or tomorrow. Thanks again to Louis Pizza from Shelby Township for sponsoring this episode tonight. We appreciate you guys. We're going to go eat some more of that right now. I think I am ready for more pizza. And this has been Candid Conversations with professional musicians. Thanks so much for being here. If you yourself are a musician and would like to be on our show here, we'd love to have you. Just send us a message, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Cool. Yeah, thank you.
All right. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was really great, Katie.